get a sip of water before we start because I have a lot to say. Hello friends, today I have a message that has been on my heart for a little while, and it's a message that I really hope brings you inspiration and motivation, and it's something that truly I need to hear myself as well. If you're an overthinker like me, if you tend to overanalyze things, if you find yourself feeling very anxious when you have to make big decisions, it can be very easy for people like us to experience analysis paralysis, especially when it comes to really important things like our career, creative projects, relationships, and so much more. Personally, I find that I'm very comfortable in the research phase of things. I love to watch tons of videos, read articles, ask people for advice, but when it comes to actually doing the thing that I'm learning about, I tend to freeze. If you can relate to any of this, I really hope that today's video serves as just a gentle nudge for you to do what it is that you know you need to do. But before we move on, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Irina. I started my YouTube channel basically from ground zero in 2021. At that time, I was talking a lot about my job as a real estate agent. I was talking about housing, tiny homes, economic commentary. Nowadays, I really love sharing videos about personal development, tips on content creation, and how to start a YouTube channel, as well as just personal lifestyle videos like the travel series that I recently got done posting. I hope you find value, inspiration, and encouragement in my corner of the internet, and if you do, definitely consider subscribing and turning on bell notifications so that you never miss a future upload. When you have an idea or an aspiration to work towards a goal, whether that's in your personal or professional life, doing some analyzing, some research is a very important part of the process. Researching can help you put together a game plan for how you are actually going to achieve this goal, and it can also help minimize risks, especially if you are putting money into this endeavor. However, I found that the dangerous part of the research phase is that it is comfortable, it's safe, it will protect and shield you from potential failure or rejection while still making you feel successful and accomplished for doing something. When the act of doing lots of thinking and research is enough to make you feel satisfied with your work, you can start to become very complacent and content before actually progressing towards any real action. Now, sometimes during the research phase, we find out that this thing we thought we wanted to do is actually not something we're passionate about or interested in, and that's okay. But if you do decide that you want to move forward, taking the plunge into action despite the fear of failure is really important. For example, I have been wanting to do brand deals and sponsorships for my YouTube channel for a long time, but I've been feeling a little bit nervous and unsure about having ad placements in my videos. So to overcome that anxiousness and sort of that feeling like I'm stuck before I've ever even started, I'm going to give myself a certain amount of days to research to my heart's desire, to watch as many videos on the topic as I want to, and then after that time limit is up, I am going to take an actionable step. I'm going to start reaching out to brands, sending out my media kit, and actually doing the things that I should have been doing a long time ago. I want to challenge you as well to think about the areas in your life that you've been putting off action in. Maybe you've been putting off a career change, maybe you've been putting off enrolling for a college course, or starting a YouTube channel, or going to the gym. Whatever the case may be, identify those areas in your life and think about how you can set limits on the research phase so that you can actually get to the action. I recently did a collaboration with Justin of Just Notified on YouTube. He's got a great YouTube channel. Definitely check him out if you are an aspiring content creator or entrepreneur. But during our conversation, we were talking a lot about beginners on YouTube and starting a YouTube channel, and he had asked a question about how you stay motivated to continually post videos like on a consistent basis. And as we were talking about this, he shared something that really stuck with me. He was telling me that he has redefined his idea of success to not necessarily be a certain amount of views or a certain amount of subscribers, because that can take a long time to achieve, and it can be really discouraging when all you're focusing on is the metrics. If that's what you're doing, then it can be really hard to stay consistent because you're just gonna constantly feel discouraged in the beginning. So he said he has moved his definition of success away from that and over to the act of consistently posting videos. When he consistently posts videos according to his schedule, that to him is success. And that really impacted me because I think oftentimes we attach success to things that take a really long time to achieve. For example, you know, we attach success to making a certain amount of money. And so as we're going down the journey to that goal, it can feel so discouraging because it takes a long time to achieve something big. But when you can shift your perspective and actually identify success in all of the small actionable steps that you take towards your goal, you're going to be able to experience success over and over and over on your journey to that ultimate goal. I thought that point was so wise, and with me personally in my life, whether it's my YouTube channel or my work as a real estate agent or just things in my personal life, I've been trying to identify small wins and identify small successes along the journey because it helps me get out of that phase where I'm stuck analyzing and stuck thinking and kind of in my own head. And when I'm able to identify all those small wins, it actually motivates me to want to take actionable steps. Hanging out in the comfort of analysis paralysis is also very tempting because the fear of failure and the fear of rejection is so real. It is such a powerful inhibitor to our goals and our motivations. I have personally experienced the fear of failure and of rejection, as well as the actual act of failure and the act of being rejected over the years, both in my work and on YouTube. It's kind of just par for the course. When you are starting out in something, when you are learning something, there are going to be rough patches along the way, and that is very normal. But I think that the thing that you really have to understand, and I'm talking to myself as well when I say this, is you can't get to the other side of the excitement of success and of fulfillment and of achieving something without experiencing some sort of failure or rejection. Like I said, it's par for the course, it's gonna happen. And I think the sooner that you learn to embrace that, the sooner that you'll be able to keep moving forward towards what it is that you want. Finding a way to accept the fear, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep going regardless is going to be very necessary for you to achieve anything big or important. And in those moments that you experience failure, that you experience some sort of rejection, rather than withdrawing and kind of freaking out and thinking that you're not good enough to be doing what you want to be doing, take that as an experience to really learn. In those situations, it might be good to do some analyzing and some thinking of why did that go wrong, what could I have done differently, and what will I do differently moving forward. When I'm trying to do something new, when I'm working towards a new goal and I'm concerned about how I might look to others, it helps me to remember that the opinions of other people are fleeting. And honestly, like I've said in previous videos, people are not thinking about you as much, or maybe even in the way that you think they're thinking about you. They are focused on themselves, as they should be. They're focused on their own lives. And if they do pass judgment on you because you kind of mess up or slip up on something, they will quickly move on to something else. It's not the end of the world. It's okay for people to see you trying and putting in effort. Oftentimes we want to be perceived as being very effortless and very just kind of naturally smart and good at things. So the idea of having people watch you try something new especially is very humbling because you cannot keep up that sort of like effortless, cool facade when you're trying something new. But that is a little bit of a different topic for another day maybe. And the other thing I wanted to mention as we're talking about overcoming the fear of failure or rejection, I find that taking the spotlight off of yourself, especially when you are in a career or just working on something that's got you working with other people, like you're providing a service or providing a product or some sort of value to other people. When you're thinking about yourself so much and when you're so in your head about potentially being rejected, you are not providing as good of a service to the people that you are trying to work with, to the people that you are trying to convert into clients and customers. Rather than focusing so much on yourself, how you appear to other people, whether or not they like you, focus on becoming an expert in your field, on providing value to other people, on really getting to know people, getting to know their circumstances, their stories, their wants and their needs. When you take that focus off of yourself and you're just there to serve, to find out how you can do your job better, how you can serve people better, I find that it takes the anxiousness out of it a little bit. I once heard that oftentimes we feel anxiousness in social situations because we're thinking about ourselves too much and not thinking about the other person that we're talking to or the other people that we're talking to enough. And I do think that oftentimes that is true. With all that being said, I can almost guarantee that many of you watching this video know exactly what you need to do to better yourself and better your life. It's not a lack of knowledge that is the issue, but rather a lack of action. Try to imagine yourself as one of your friends. What kind of advice would you give to you? Stop putting off action, stop letting fear dictate the decisions that you make, and instead allow yourself to believe in the possibility of your potential. Let me know in the comments if any of this resonated with you, and if it did, if you found value in this video, if you enjoyed it, you will probably also enjoy my video about sunk cost fallacy, where I talk about how it's never too late to change course and pursue your passion.